What it is, my peeps from the deeps. It's Josh here with DepriveD Productions, back in the Unreal Engine 4 with the second tutorial in our world development series. That's right. Our first one, we learned how to make landscapes and how to use height maps to make them all look crazy, big old terrain with some cliffs and edges and whatnot. But now I've built me just a big flat landscape, as you can tell here. If I go here, I got a big old landscape here, and I've built the lighting so all them black lines are gone. And like I said, we always go into the sculpt. We went to the sculpt tool and sculpted it around a little bit, and it might recreate those lines. Again, you just build the lighting. But we're going to learn today about painting materials on our landscape. So if we go to the paint, we'll go down here to the layers, and we go to, it ain't gonna let us paint. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because we need to make a material. So let's go ahead and go back here so we can select our landscape, and it's asking for a material right here. Let's right click in the DP folder, material. I'm gonna name it land. I'm gonna name it lad. That's what I'm gonna name it lad, because I'm not scared. He's a good lad. I'm gonna drag that material onto our landscape material, and then boom, we're done. I'm just kidding, we haven't done anything yet. But what it'll do is it'll compile the shaders, and it'll apply whatever material we have to our landscape. Now, landscape materials are done a lot differently, just a lot of different stuff, and that's why they're kind of separated from our material UE4 series. So check it out. It loads it up here. It's just gonna be a big old black shiny plane now, because obviously, well, that's all it is. So I'll double click on it and let's get started, okay? Now the thing is, in here, we could work with textures, collars, anything, but to make it simple, we're going to work with collars. So I'm going to hold the number 3. Hold that number 3. I'm going to, like a grass collar, okay? Make a grass collar. Let's make it like a dark, like a middle green collar, and let's plug it into base collar. Now, since it's going to be kind of a grass, I'm going to hold the number 1, and I'm going to plug it into metal, because I don't want to be, there should be no metal on grass. Let's just think about what grass would look like if it was in real life, even though it's just the color green. It wouldn't have any metal. There's no metal. I'm going to tell you something else it's not going to have: roughness. Look at it all shiny here if I keep it at 0. That's not how we do it. It's not going to be a big shiny ball. It's going to be almost completely rough. How about 0.95? And let's just go ahead and save that, okay? So now, our landscape will have a big old green collar. That's what's going to be going on there. So if we go back and look at it now, and this is a huge landscape, by the way, it will compile the shaders. Give it just a second, and once it does, you'll be like, boom, there'll be a big old green spot, and there it is, boom, big old green kind of flat looking area. Now that's cool and all, but I mean, that's it. How do we paint collars on it? You remember the vertex painting tutorial? Well, it's not really the same as that. Let's double click on here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just leave these alone. It's all of it's we're gonna keep these, we're gonna keep that the same for every collar, but we need a couple more collars. How about some brown? I mean, we can find a little brown collar. I'll get a little brown collar in there, and then maybe like a real dark green, like that. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So now we got a couple different collars here. We got our brown, we got our green. They're loading up real quick for us. But the thing is, how do we plug them all into base collar and be able to paint separately? Well, this is where we need a new node. We need to right click and type in landscape. And you'll see landscape layer blend is what we're looking for. You see landscape layer blend? Boom! That is what everything's going to be going into, but it doesn't have an input. That's because when it's selected, we have to create one, okay? So check it out. I'm going to create one right now. Okay, you see one there? I'm going to create another one, and I'm going to create another one. So we have 3 layers. Let's go ahead and plug these bad babies in here. You know what we're going to do. We're going to plug them in like this, okay? We're going to have 3 different layers here. And we could do this with any parameter, because this is going to end up going into base collar, but we could have 3 to specular and 3 to normal and stuff like that. But just to keep it simple, we'll go over here now, and I'll drop the first era here, the era. And it's the one with 0. And we're just going to name it L1 for layer 1, okay? And now the blend mode is going to be the same, and I'm going to set the preview height to 1. So that mainly means this is going to be the main material that shows. Its weight is the highest. If we just turn this material on, this is the one that'll be showing up. Now let's go down to our second one here. Let's drop that arrow, and I'm in L2, right? And I'm actually just going to leave everything else alone there. There's L2, and then I've got L3 down here. That's all we're naming it. And like I said, you'd obviously want to name them in better detail than I did. But there we go. Layer L1, layer L2, layer L3. I will drag all these bad babies up here a little bit, and then I'll plug this into my base collar, okay? Now you're like, heck yeah, we're done, right? That's it. Okay, well, I'm going to save it. And as you can tell, it's still showing our green, grassy, light green grass texture. I know I got a dark green there, but I don't care. Greens are cool. It's my favorite color. Get over it. Now, we go back to my landscape. Let it load up here a little bit. It's all flat and generic looking. So now that it's loaded up, we can tell that it's not green, it's black. But that's because we need to actually paint some stuff on there. So I got my paint. It was set to smooth. Now I'm gonna set it to paint so we can paint some textures. Now if I scroll down, you're gonna see 3 layers there. We got the L1, the L2, and the L3. So if I click one, I can hold shift and paint? No, because it's asking for layer info. This is very simple, okay? And we'll actually just put it in my DP folder. In fact, I'm just going to put it anywhere now. But what happens is you got these little plus symbols beside each layer that we've created. If I click on it, and sometimes it's geeking out there, so you see it kind of geeking out, we're going to create a weight blended layer normal. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to tell me where I want to set it up. Now, I want to obviously set it up and name it wherever I want. For now, I'll just click OK. Okay, so it's done. And that way we have the material, we have the layer, we don't have to worry about any of that, and then boom. And what you have to do is you have to do the same thing here. I got my L2, which is like my brown, little brown poopy mud color, a little dirt or whatever not, or a little brown rock with some poop. Anyway, so I'll okay that, right? Now, I've got that one set. And then obviously go to my third one, do the same thing. Save it where you want to save it, boom. The point is you have your 3 target layers, and I've got them in here with shared assets, DP shared assets, just a folder that's been created, and boom. Now I have my 3 layers. And again, I need to build my lighting or whatever not, because it's all line looking or whatever not. And this landscape is huge. It's 2048 by 2048, so it's a big old one. Now, if I click on L1 and try to paint, well, it's fine. It's already green. But now, I can pick on L2. Oh, you see it? It'll start compiling. Let's let it compile these couple little squares here. You know what I'm saying? It'll compile a little bit. And then when it's finally done compiling here in about 2 seconds, boom! Got a little brown. Okay. I got a little brown right there. I can hold shift, and I'm erasing it, right? I'm erasing it like that, okay? Now, if I go into another square, okay, it's not compiling again. It's letting me get her done. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But of course, I could go back to my green tool. Okay, and just fix that. And then obviously it's the same thing. I got my strength, I got my radius here. I can erase it. You know what I'm talking about? Just get rid of it real quick like that. So now I have the ability on my landscape to grab this thing right here and make some mountains. It's making some big old mountains like this. You know what I'm saying? A big old little scape, a little rigid little scape. And then what I could do is go to the paint tool. You know what I'm talking about? And go to my L2 here, which is like my brown, and I'll set the size back to about 3,000. You know what I'm saying? Keep everything, and that could paint on the top of these mountains a little bit. Okay, a little dirt on the top of my little colorful mountains. You know what I'm talking about? Little dirt. It looks real bad because I'm not good at painting, but I could sit here and paint with them for days and days. You know what I'm talking about? Now, not only that, I got my other material there, so I could grab my dark green, and I could, like I said, mess with the strength and stuff like that. I go down here and grab my dark green. Okay. I'm going to go down to the bottom of these. Oh, you'll see it compiling again. It's compiling because I haven't used this collar yet, and I'm just still drawing around it. Now let's let it load up here, and you'll see that I have my 3rd collar pop up. Oh, a little dark green action. Okay, it's definitely looking like it's more of a black because I'm not very good at color coordination on the fly. I'm not going to lie, I need a little more time to put something like that together. But there we go. I've got my different collars. So here I am creating little mountains of color, little different collars. And hey, do you think 3 collars is all we can do? You're wrong, son. You can make as many as you want. And like I said, then again, you could go here and be like, oh, I messed up. Let's color back over that. You know what I'm saying? Or smooth it out a little bit. Smooth it out down the bottom here like this. So like I said, there you go. You got a little. Now what you're taking is you're taking your landscape, and after you're molding it, you're painting separate materials on it. And then we look at it from deep with the lighting. We F11 full screen, and we got our little mountains with the shadows and the different colors, and it looks all pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really bad. It looks bad, but the lighting makes it look good, and I love it. We're going to talk about lighting soon, but yeah, there you go, guys. A simple way of painting your materials. And like I said, you know, in the landscape, it's a little different. Like I said, we'll go back into it by literally just clicking here, clicking on here like this, and double-clicking on it, and boom, we have our thing there. This is very important. You create your layer blend, landscape layer blend. You have your first one set to preview 1, and then the other 2 are just set to 0, the preview weight. I've named them. I've got them all split into the different colors I want. We could use textures, or we could do this. Check this out. We'll copy and paste this bad baby, okay? And then, of course, metallic's fine. Metallic's just fine. We'll leave that alone. But what I'll do now is I'll plug this into roughness, okay? And now what I'll do is I'll have 3 different colors. So for the grass, I want it to be completely rough. So let's make it 1, okay? And for the other grass, oh, I did the wrong one. Well, the bottom layer I want to be rough as well. So I'll go to this first one here, and I want this is my green grass. So I want it to be 1, just completely rough. But I want my rock, my brown, I want it to be real shiny. Maybe not a 0, because that's real shiny. Maybe like a 0.15. You know what I'm talking about? So now what will happen is if I save it, it will actually take these parameters the same way, and I know that's kind of sloppy looking because I just threw it together, but it'll take those same parameters because it's the exact same landscape layer blend, and it'll actually also copy the roughness as well as the color. So if I go back and look, and it it says I got to save it. I have to save it, guys. That's what you've got to do. If you don't save it, you're dead. If you don't save it, you lose everything, and then you die. And then after you die, you come back and you forgot to save everything, and you come. Who cares? Because you lost everything. Anyway, it saves here real quick. It's compiling shaders and all that nonsense. And boom, it's done saving. Still compiling shaders, almost done. We go back, and then boom. Now, as you can tell, it's still compiling, but you can see that the green is still rough, but the brown has a little light reflected off, a little roughness. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of see what I did there in just a couple seconds time. You got the green here. You got the brown that's kind of reflecting off the light. So if you wanted your rocks to look like they were wet, or different materials to look like they were red or dry or whatever not, but yeah, there you go. It took the same parameters from the landscape layer blend and applied them to another output or another input on the material. So there you go, boom. You can do that with specular, metallic, and normals and textures, and boom. But there you go, guys, just a real quick idea of what you can do with texture painting or material painting with landscapes. Like I said, it's a little different, but I got my little layers. I just pick one now, and I draw over here, and it's all kind of wet looking over there now. Got a little wet spot, a little wet, big old mud puddle, it almost looks like. You know what I'm saying? Kind of neat there. But hey, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Josh here with DepriveD Productions with a second tutorial in world development. We got so much cool stuff to learn. This is still just the basics, just making sure you guys understand. But hit that Facebook page, or hit the Facebook page, DepriveD Productions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, DepriveD Productions. We have almost 70 videos out, almost 600 subscribers. People everywhere jumping in, jumping out, jumping on, jumping off. I don't care. Get in there and learn some stuff, have some fun. Hit the SoundCloud up, DepriveD, all kind of music. A lot of it is free, so jam it, rock it, man. Man, love it. We'll be releasing all kind of free content all the time, and I'm just going to keep on painting. I'm just going to keep on painting my landscape, guys, while y'all go paint yours, okay? Let's paint together. Holla at me. We got some really awesome stuff coming, guys. Can't wait to hit you up with our new tutorials, or with the world development. A lot of new stuff coming. I think you'll really like it. It'll be really helpful, useful. So enjoy this. Have some fun. Holler at me if you need any help whatsoever. Until then, love you, miss you. Peace.